YouTube. What's going on? I was trying to think about what I wanted to say, and I was about to say, like, oh man, last week was a crazy week, and I'm starting to realize almost every week is kind of crazy. Anyway, last week we had 3 things. Do people eat the peels on oranges? Yeah, okay. I don't know, maybe that's healthy. I should Google that. Yeah, so I want to talk about 3 things this week. First thing I got going on is in 8 days, we're headed to France. I haven't been to France in 2 years. I was lucky enough to go to France when I was in high school, when I was a junior, so that would have been like 1997. For me, French class, to be quite honest, even in high school, was just another class I took. I enjoyed it. I loved my French teacher. I thought she was really cool. But it wasn't something I was super passionate about. And then I went to France my junior year, loved it, and I'm just so glad that I got to have that experience. But even when I went to college, French wasn't really in my eye of things that I wanted to do. Living in France for a semester was hands down one of the best things I ever did in college. It's still one of the highlights of my life. I absolutely loved living there. I'm bringing my drone. I've started looking up the drone laws, and I think it's illegal to fly in Paris. Not planning on it, but then there's this drone photographer that flies all the time in Paris, so maybe I'll try it. No, I'm not going to try it. But definitely when we go up to Normandy, yeah, that thing's getting in the air. I think we've been like 7 times as a trip. Let's see, we went in 2007, 2009, 2011, 2013, 2015, 2017, 2019. So this will be our 7th time going to France. I'm sure I'm gonna vlog there. Should I vlog in France? I've never vlogged in France. Last week, 2 things went on. The first thing was Wish Week. Wish Week was an activity that we did for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and we've done it in the past, and I think last year we raised a little over $6,000 for Make-A-Wish Foundation. I don't know if we worked with a specific kid or not, but this year we had one young lady that we were working with, and we were trying to raise $10,000. So we had all kinds of activities that I think were pretty popular. One thing we did was selling stars, which we've done in the past. So kids could buy a star, and then we would put them up on the wall, and each star was $1, and then we would take the money and we would gather it. The new activity that seemed pretty popular among everyone was on Wednesday during 4th hour. If kids brought in change, the teachers had to count all of the change, and they couldn't start class until they were done. But there were a couple people that had over $200 in change that they had to work with. I think we raised almost like $8,000 just in the change alone. So yeah. But unfortunately I wasn't there for the whole time, which was frustrating. But I interviewed some people that were there the whole time, so let's hear about what they have to say. How much money did you guys end up raising for the whole week?
We were at $30,198.14.
I was on the bus to Chicago for choir when we found out that we raised $30,200, yeah. And I found out we were granting like 4 wishes, which is like, it just made my heart so happy.
But with the $30,000, we're able to send 2 kids to Disney World. 1 wish kid is getting a tree house built in the backyard, and then 1 is also getting sent to the MLB All-Stars game this spring.
Okay, so next year, anything different can happen?
We'll raise more money.
Whoa. Okay.
We can't make that promise. We're not
For sure.
Yeah, well,
I'll promise.
I want to expand to all the elementaries and to Meadows as well.
So Wish Week went on all 5 days. It was kind of like a spirit week, and I was not there for the last 2 days because I was at something called communication camp.
just wanna get down with you. Finally, listen, I can call you mine. Once more, then I swear we are through.
So I can't tell you a lot about communication camp because a lot of it is kind of supposed to be a secret. It's supposed to be something that the kids experience. But I can tell you wholeheartedly, I'm really glad I went. So I've been teaching for a long time and I've been at this high school, I think for like 14 years. So when you've done things over and over again, it's not that they get boring, but there's nothing really surprising anymore. But communication camp was my first time. And to be quite honest, I didn't know what to expect. And if I'm completely honest with you, I wasn't really sure I wanted to go. I don't know. I wasn't really excited to go. All right, that's wrong. I shouldn't say. I wasn't fired up to go, I should say. It's not that I wasn't excited. I didn't know what to expect, and you know, talking about your feelings. I was just a chaperone for communication camp. I was not at all in charge, and if you were there, you would clearly see that I was not in charge. But Mike Ziegler is the one that ran it, and I want to get his opinion on communication camp. So did a little interview with a guest speaker. Mr. Ziegler.
Hi.
Or Mike. Should I
Mike.
call you Mike?
As long as we're talking about camp.
All right, okay. So this was my first communication camp.
Yeah.
How many years has it been going on? Tell me a little bit about the history.
Sure. So in Novi, this came into existence in 2013.
Okay.
That was with Mr. Furlow, and he adopted the program pretty much wholesale from Farmington schools, and they'd been doing it for 2 or 3 years at that point. The experience is really designed to be for the kids at camp and for them alone.
Okay.
And a lot of what gets talked about at camp are very personal perspectives. They talk about topics that may be very personal to them. In order for kids to open up about personal experiences and to share honestly about their thoughts on, I pick a topic, school culture, right, or mental health, or how they face the challenges of school, you first have to build up some trust with them that it really is a space where you can say things that you believe and know that it's not going to come running back to the school and all of your friends are going to hear about it.
Okay, so who gets invited?
We're looking for kids who are already potentially good leaders.
Okay.
The difference is, and I think this is what throws some people off when they think, well, I can't figure out how kids are getting invited, is we're looking for leadership skills that we see in action. We ask our staff members to look for when we're selecting kids is, tell me the kids you see actually leading in the hallways, leading in the classroom. They can influence a group. They can rally energy behind a group of kids. And there are other kids hiding in our midst too, right? Who in a classroom we see it, maybe they haven't found their sport or their place. But when you just look at the way they interact with their peers, you say that's somebody who could lead.
So it's not all about the
troops.
resume.
Right.
It's a little bit about the moxie.
It's almost the opposite. Yeah, it's about you, when nobody's looking or when you think nobody's looking, I see those skills coming out in you.
Okay. Gina,
What's up?
come on in. We are very, very lucky. I didn't think that she would come on camera, but we have Gina Katrine right here, live.
I literally got no introduction at all, so congratulations. Here's Mike. Gina!
I want to know, what was your favorite moment that you can actually tell the audience about communication?
So there was one point where we were talking about something and you genuinely got a feeling that the students really wanted to learn from one another or from the two teacher leaders in the group. And it wasn't just superficial, like they actually and genuinely were like, okay, well tell me how I can do this better, how I can fix this, because it was something that they were struggling with and they couldn't talk to the people that they really wanted to talk to, and it was just like an open dialogue and everyone was so real.
For me, one of the coolest parts of camp in general, and especially now that I have that sort of like overview perspective instead of being in the groups, is that tends to be the way I think kids generally talk about camp, of like, it's a ton of fun, but then when you ask like what was most meaningful to you, that word struggle is what they tend to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Of like, there were some really difficult moments, and I feel like in those moments I learned something about myself, or I learned something about my peers.
If you could rename communication camp, what would you name it?
Leadership prep.
You wish you could be here, Cam.
Wish you could be here camp?
There you go.
Okay.
We're cooler than
Yeah.
you, Cam.
Okay. All right. I came up with a list of potential names.
All right.
All right. All right. Play life-sized Uno camp.
That's good.
Really large.
Those were
Okay. Isn't Uno already life-size by definition?
But the cards were like
Yeah, but like bigger than your
as
face.
big as a
Cards
folder.
larger than life.
I was truly looking for.
Ball your eyes out camp.
That's
Accurate.
a really good one.
Yeah,
good one.
literal naming is
I
good.
actually didn't cry this time, so I was really proud of myself.
Okay. All right. Survive 2 days without your cell phone camp.
That's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I
I
like
didn't. I had no service.
So you
I-
survived too.
Barely. Trudge in the mud camp.
Trudge of the Mud Camp has a nice ring to it.
You had some
Kinda
cute
rolls off the
boots.
tongue.
I wish I had those
Yeah.
boots.
Yeah.
Feelings camp.
Feelings Camp?
Well,
I feel like that would
that's
scare
worse.
people away, just like you said earlier.
Okay. All right,
We're
now-
going the wrong direction now.
All right. Call your teachers by their first name camp.
That's good.
Yeah.
That would rally up a lot of enthusiasm, I think.
And I wrote lead like a boss camp.
I like that a
Like
lot.
boss. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or communication camp. That's a good one too.
We're probably going to consider that last one the most, I'm going to be honest.
Lead like a
Lead
boss.
like a boss.
Oh no, communication.
Is
Okay. I like going because I teach math and we don't get to really know our students very well and have like real conversations. So when I go and people can like see me as a person and not as like a math robot.
okay.
There you go. I would rename it Relationship Camp.
Ooh.
Which now that I hear out loud sounds weird for other reasons, but that's what I love too. That this is a camp, as much as anything, it's about building a sense of community and relations between teachers
Okay.
and students and fellow students.
Would you go back?
I would definitely go back. I was very happy that I went. So
There you go.
thank you for inviting
So there
me.
you have it. His commitment for 2019-2020 communication.
Well, I
camp.
do have some competition
On
with
the
HOSA.
record.
Maybe with the school board.
We
I
will
don't
not
know.
compete with HOSA again.
Oh.
We're not doing that again.
Over
Okay.
it.
We'll work around them.
Wish I could tell you more, but here's what I will say. If you're a student that gets invited, go. Figure out a way to go. I think you will really enjoy it. You don't get your cell phone for 2 days, and everybody survived. Yeah. So, yeah.
But there is one more thing.
I got one more thing. Just ordered AirPods 2. I need your help. Should I or should I not do a review on AirPods 2? Kind of want to get back into that tech review thing I did a few years ago. I wouldn't say I was very good at it, but I think I've upped my game. I don't know. Should I do one? Let me know. Do you want to see a review? I'm willing to do it. I think they're going to come in right before I leave for France, so how cool would it be to do a review while I'm on a plane, traveling, going to Paris, right? I mean, Paris is a lot prettier than Novi. Sorry, it is. All right, see you in the next one.